Hello, good morning, everybody. I would like you to raise your hand if you listen to music, if you hum, if you ever sing, if you like to tap your fingers when you're bored or when you're thinking, or if you've ever sung something to a friend as a joke, like you sang the words you wanted to say, and you're like, whoa, I didn't mean to do that, but you did it anyways. So, reason being is that music is all around everybody constantly, is available to everyone, and it's actually a really perfect way to communicate not only with others but also with yourself on a very deep emotional level. David Rothenberg in The Guardian, More Than Words 2009, he says that communication connects reason with emotion, and thus it's able to communicate on a much deeper level and a much more mysterious level. And part of that comes from the fact that it's not completely clear. We don't understand it exactly, like completely, 100%. And because of that, we're allowed this space to kind of bring our own meaning into it, and thus, similar, like a song that I've written can touch someone else's heart as well. So it's part of the beautiful thing about music. And he says also, I know people are really nervous about singing. Think like, oh, I can't do that, or people won't like my voice, or whatever people are thinking. But he also says that singing is as essential to humans as other animals that are musically inclined, like songbirds, dolphins, even elephants. I mean, technically that's music, what they're doing, the trumpeting. So it's very individualized. In the magazine of National Endowment for the Humanities, Patrick Burke says in his essay, What is Music, 2015, that music is defined as humanly organized sound. And that it is simply, if you think it's music, if it's music to you, then it's music. Because other people might call it noise, they might not like it, but that's, it's different for everybody. And then everyone knows that music is a kind of therapy. It has been therapy for ages. The American Music Therapy Association says in their essay, The History of Music Therapy, that it was found, mentioned by Aristotle and Plato, and even before then in other cultures. Sam Hogwood from the Peterson Family Foundation, in an essay called Health Benefits of Musical Therapy, 2015, says that it was prevalent in Greek mythology, Native American culture, many different, philosophy had music therapy in it. Also, it was really commonplace in World War I and World War II. So, reason being is that there are a lot of health benefits to it. So, Sam Hogwood also says that, there were studies done that showed that it lowers the pain levels of people. It really radically lowers stress levels, and lowered stress improves breathing, blood pressure, muscle tension, and people's heart rates. It also, of course, we all know it can really improve your mood if you're listening to a very happy song. But if you're sad and you're listening to a sad song, that also can help you to process your feelings. So what I want to talk about today is writing your own music for the purpose of self-exploration and, having a more deep connection with your own emotions, sort of like mindfulness, or, your heart. So my most important point is that anybody can create music. Anybody. Everybody. It's an essential part of just being human. It's everywhere. And to think that you can't do it yourself is just baloney. So I'm going to show you what I do. And you can do this with any instrument, or no instrument. Percussion is actually just hitting random things, technically. I was a percussionist. You could hit a drum, you could hit a glass, you can shake a pasta box, that's a maraca. So, I'm going to be showing you what I do with my guitar. I guess I'll just start out with a quick story. The first time I wrote a song on a stringed instrument, it was after I went on a first date with a guy that I ended up dating. But I wrote a song to him just about how much fun I had on the date. And I was like, we were smiling the whole time. And the whole song was just about literally what we did on the date and how much fun it was. And what I was kind of thinking about, like how I was thinking about him in my life, etc. I wrote this song, I won him over. So it definitely, writing how you feel to people with music is a really great technique for actually like having them see how you feel. It just brings a whole new level to things. And then also it helps you to realize how you feel. So here we go. Nowadays what I do, I've learned a couple chords, but my point is that you don't have to know chords in order to write a song. It's a crazy misconception. You don't need to know anything. You just have to touch the guitar, like play a note. This is just random. The point though is that you're finding the note. You're gonna find a note where you're like, ooh, I like that note. That is what you wanna hook into, that note. Keep that note and then explore other notes that sound good with it. That's kind of the essence of playing music as far as what I do. The other day I found this note. For whatever reason, that one, I really liked it. And if you really like a certain chord or a certain note, it's because it's kind of like connected to how you're feeling at that time. So then I was like, oh, well, let me just see. So I just started like strumming with that one note pressed. And then I was like, okay, let me put it on another finger. So you can tell it's like very dissonant, but it's just sort of how I was feeling. I was like, okay, let me try another one. So I ended up writing a song with just those notes. I basically was taking them putting them back, and that's all I was doing. And I wrote, so what I do is I turn on a recorder, like on your phone, and just leave it there, and then start playing with the instrument and finding notes that you like together. Once you've found something you like I liked this, which technically it's an A, but that's not why I was playing it. I just kind of like found it randomly. I just thought that was so beautiful, and then I just started saying things about how I was feeling. Talk about how you're feeling. You can sing it or say it lyrically. Say how you feel. Say what you've been dreaming about. Say what you want. Say what you need, what you crave, who you miss, who you love, who you're disappointed with, who you're angry at. You could talk about your aspirations or your insecurities or your strengths or someone's smile. You could talk about, a meal that you had, or you could just describe the room you're in or the trees you're next to. Or you can just mumble jumble it and just be very, very random, which is also very pretty and poetic. And then as you're going, you're recording. So then there's going to be a moment when you say something with it. You're going to say something kind of spontaneously with the music you're playing, and it's just going to click. You can go back to the recording and just write that down in your notebook. Your song can be a few lines. It can be less than a minute long. It doesn't have to be super long. It doesn't have to have intro, break, closing. Like, it doesn't need to. the first songs I ever wrote were so simple, but they were beautiful because they were honest. And they were vulnerable, I guess you would say. So, yeah, that's about it. Also, I wanted to also mention that Patrick Burke, with his essay, What is Music, in 2015, also said that making music is a fundamental part of what it means to be human, end quote. It's something that everyone should feel that they have like the right and the capability to do. Thank you.